welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV, the only place to be for your pre-match pump-ups and on match day in general. Hope everyone is well. It's a sad day today, as we will be discussing, as it marks the final game for Son Heung-min at Tottenham Hotspur. Loads to talk about. Fantastic panel as always. I'm joined by my other half, Jimbo. Jose, who's fresh from Spain and looking absolutely bronzed, and Luke from Spotlight and Spurs making his debut on the channel today. So, Jimbo, first of all, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing excellent. Luke, you know what? I was looking at Luke earlier and I was thinking, who does he look like? He looks like someone. He looks like the dart player. What's his name? Hamilton?
I don't know who that is.
The number one in the world.
Isn't that Luke?
Yeah,
not Luke, like the other one.
Luke Humphries.
Yeah, Luke Humphries. Is it Luke Humphries?
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Maybe
I'll
Luke's
take it. I'll take it.
You join the panel, Luke. You join the panel and you're a world champion, look.
Yeah,
I'll take Humphries and not Luke Littler. We'll take that one.
Yeah, I have to say, I think you look a bit like Michael Bridge from Sky Sports News. So maybe, there we go. Now,
maybe their love child.
Maybe.
Far too kind.
Now we've done who looks like who. Jose, how are you? Is it nice being back in England? You're missing Espanol?
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm playing catch up still. I got back on Thursday evening. I'm still playing catch up. I still don't know what's going on in England at the moment. I've been told things, and I'm just like, I'm just playing catch up. I'm playing catch up with Tottenham as well, by the way. So it's everything. Someone told me that there was a law passed on Thursday that I knew nothing about, because they didn't say nothing in Spain. There was a law passed on Thursday about you now have to declare who you are when you go on websites and stuff like that, or something.
Really?
They passed it. Yeah. So if you go on a website, you've got to declare your age now, so they can track you and stuff like that over here. I knew nothing about it.
They should never ask a lady her age. It's outrageous.
Yeah, unless someone's lied to me. That's what I've been told. There's things that I'm catching up. Put it that way.
Oh, Jose, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the world. But welcome for the first time to Luke. Welcome to I'll start again. Welcome to We Are Tottenham TV, Luke, making your debut. How are you?
Thank you very much. It's a privilege to be here. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm doing well. And Jose, we're always catching up with Spurs. Who knows what's going to happen? Even if we think we know, we never know. So we're all in that same boat all the time with Tottenham.
That's very, very true. Please, before we start, can everyone smash that like button? It does help the channel. Look, we've got loads to talk about today. I'm going to start by going back over the Tottenham Arsenal game, because we haven't spoken since then. Excellent result. Don't care what any gooner says. There's never a friendly between Tottenham and Arsenal. They can cry and say it's only pre-season, but we know that it's war. But Jimbo, positives to take from that game? Anyone particular who stood out for you?
Yeah, we smashed them. That's what's positive about it. We beat them, right? All before the game. What was it we was getting in our chat?
4-0, 3-0.
4-0, 3-0, 3-1. You ain't got a chance. We're going to expose you for what you are. Yeah, well, all right. Well, you exposed us. You lost. Yeah, positives, Kate. There's so many on there. Porro was outstanding. I thought Jed Spence for me was man of the match. Morning, Steve. I thought Jed Spence was man of the match. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. You know, he had Saka in his pocket and he had to let him out when they got back in the changing room. He was in there so tight. It was just a fantastic match. I think they all played well. Maybe a little disappointed with Richie, but I don't really want to put anyone down because he was on the pitch. But he should have scored. I think it was a bit easier to score than miss one of them. But look, it was nice. You know, it's nice to see organisation. The game was on 10 minutes, and I said to you, what a difference. In 10 minutes, I saw of Frank's, how organised they were, and they all seemed to know what they were doing. Just after 10 minutes, you could see the difference. So, yeah, I don't want to go on because I could go on for an hour about it, but very, very positive. I'm so looking forward to this season, you know, and I still believe there's 2 or 3 players coming in, and I'm very, very excited about this season.
Yeah, I would agree. Luke, anything particular that you saw or anyone in particular who stood out for you against Arsenal?
I think the whole team were superb. I agree. Richie was a little bit off it, but I feel like Richie's not had a period where he's been fully fit and raring to go for a long period at Spurs. And the last time he did, he obviously notched quite a few goals. So I think that's part of playing the catch up, just getting used to playing games quite regularly. But yeah, I think everyone to a man was superb, and it brought out all of the positives that Frank's going to bring. And yeah, I have a feeling Porro's going to have a really, really good season under Frank. I think his passing ability could come up to be a real key aspect of Spurs. So yeah, it was good to see. As I say, like there's been a lot of there's been some negativity in pre-season and things like that, but definitely I think that is the kind of catalyst, and that's the expectation now to kind of get to that level.
Yeah, I would agree. Jose, did you see the match against Arsenal?
I'm gonna tell you all the story.
Oh,
I
hello.
got on my flight. I got on my flight at kickoff. So all I did is I'd read X before getting on the flight, so I knew what the lineup was. I could see a lot of people on X saying, "God, when we get done 3 or 4-0, watch the blowout and watch everyone lose their minds." Blah blah blah. And then my flight, when we were landing, about 400 meters before we to land, because I was tracking the flight just went and took back off again because there was an issue. The plane in front had an issue with the tyre, so we had to abort and go back up again. And then so it took a bit longer. It took a bit longer. Then we had to do a circle round Horsham and whatever, and then Crawley, and then land back down in Gatwick. So when I landed in Gatwick, first thing I did, obviously, is when you're allowed to, I put the phone, switch the phone on, and straight away, because I've got it all set up to Tottenham, it come up. It was 0-1, and Tottenham had won, and I was just like, "Oh, what's happened there?" So I've got home on Thursday evening in the end, and I've seen the goal. I've seen the goal that Sarr scored, but I haven't found any highlights of the game. So really, I'm relying on listening to you guys and other people since I've got back, and what I can find and read up on. And it appears to be, from what I've read, that we put in a really solid team performance. It looked like defensively we were absolutely sound. Arsenal did throw their kitchen bits at us, but we were defensively sound. And the goal from Sarr was absolutely immense. I'm reading that certain players, 4 or 5 players, stood out from the crowd, so to speak, and had really good games. But it was a team performance. I mean, it's weird because whilst in Spain, I saw the squad. Something was on X. They put down the players that had gone out for the tour, and when you read it down the list and that, you thought to yourself, "Oh my God, we look weak." So to actually go out there and get that result, and I think Arsenal were out there longer than us, weren't they? When they were not acclimatised far quicker than us.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
So,
I think 2 weeks they've been there.
So therefore, to turn it around, I mean, also Arsenal didn't. It doesn't matter who they got because they've got a deeper squad. But it looked like some of their new signings were on the bench, but they all came on, and everyone from their team got 0, and everyone from our team that played got 1, and you take the victory. And I don't think. I mean, it's not a league game, but Arsenal fans certainly ain't happy that they got beaten by us in pre-season 1-0. And obviously, we're all elated that we beat the Gooners in pre-season 1-0.
Of course.
But with that, I will say, I still think, and I'm not going to, I said this before the transfer window started, I said it last season, still think we're light on players, I still think we need more. Hopefully, they'll come in.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I definitely picked up on is the set plays. 3 times we hit the post, and I don't know if all 3 were from corners that nearly went in, direct corners. Kudus on one side, Porro on the other. Our corner taking has improved massively. But I'm kind of with what Jim and Luke said as well. The whole team put a shift in. It was a really all-round good performance and showed just how organised we are under Frank and what we've been lacking under Ange Postecoglou. No disrespect to Ange. He'll always be a legend for winning the Europa League trophy. But in the league, certainly, we saw what really we should have been playing like. But look, there's pressing matters today, Jimbo. We've all heard the news. Sonny has announced that he's leaving Spurs. a lot of people really struggling to come to terms with it. Apart from Ben Davies now, he was one of the last from the Poch era. Only Ben Davies is left, giving us some unbelievable memories with screamers, left foot, right foot, curlers, assists, the partnership with Harry Kane. I mean, what's your thoughts on Sonny going, and what's your favourite memory if you've got one?
Well, my favourite memory by far, I'll probably be on my deathbed and I'll think of that Burnley goal. I mean, that was just off the planet. The way he just went through them like they wasn't there. I can see every movement. I can see in my head with that. I'll never ever forget it. There's certain goals you never forget. The Kane one against Arsenal in the top corner when he cut in when he had his mask on, and that one for Sonny with the running through Burnley. Never ever forget it. Do you want to do the same
before you carry on? Yeah, let's do the team. We'll do the Sonny bit afterwards because the team is out and it is as follows: Kinski in goal. Then we've got Porro, Danso, Romero, and Davis at the back. Benton, Gray, and Sarr in midfield. Johnson, Tell, and Sonny captaining the side one final time. On the bench, we've got Vicario, Austin, Gunter, Spence, Van der Ven, Byfield, Vuskovic, Abbott, Basuma, Bergvall, Madison, Donnelly, Yang, Odeberg, Kudus, Richarlison, and Lancashire. So still no Solanke in the squad. Luke, I'll come to you first. What's your thoughts on the team? Anything concerning?
It'd be interesting to see how Gray gets on. The level of opposition that we're going to be playing from Arsenal till the first game is the level that we want to be competing at for sure. So be interesting to see how Gray gets on in a bit more of a structured midfield with a bit more probably clear understanding of what the requirements are. Sarr seems to be that sort of midfielder now that we're kind of pushing on. So again, it's a slightly different role to what he's probably been. I know he played it in the cup final, but interesting to see as well how he gets on and whether or not it's just the odd game here and there that he performs in that space, or whether that's an area that he can. And then the other part, I think Tell, I felt that Tell was going to be more played on the left hand side. Now maybe this is all just to get Sonny's start and then his final game, and maybe Tell will return. But I think Tell's he struggled a little bit through the middle, specifically from the physicality point of view. So again, it'd be interesting to see where he's at in the pre-season.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have noticed it. A lot of people are saying that Sarr seems to be a frank favourite, but Jose is scoring for fun at the minute. What's your thoughts on Sarr and the team that's come out?
Obviously, I've not been around, so to me, I thought when I saw the lineup against Arsenal, I thought that was as close as a first team as you could possibly get. What he picked, there's a couple of players you would have tossed a coin and said, well, yeah, he could have played all it, but this team, it's obvious that you're trying to give minutes to absolutely everybody, because I don't think Kinski, Danso, Davis, Gray, Bentancur, I don't even know Bentancur played against Arsenal. Johnson, Tell, and Son, all these players didn't start against Arsenal, did
they? Porro started.
Yeah, I said. So I think he's given minutes. Yeah, Danso. I don't think Danso, Davis, Gray, Johnson, Tell, and Son. So I think what he's done is he's trying to put minutes into people's legs, which is the right thing to do, because it's no point putting your eggs into one basket and playing the same 11, game in, game out, start the season, and then all your players are undercooked. So there's no surprise to me that he's turned it and swapped it around a bit. For me, obviously I've been away. It would have been nice for me because I ain't seen Kudus play yet, so I wanted to see him play in the shirt. I haven't seen Yang play. Madison, I don't know. He only got a few minutes against Arsenal, I think. But the one thing I know that stood out for me last season, and I don't know, I didn't watch the Arsenal game, but last season what stood out for me is that when we lost Madison and Kulu, the creativity was zero. We were lacking in scoring chances and creativity to create chances towards the end of last season. And I'm not sure what happened in the Arsenal game, whether there was creativity in there and that. But with Madison being on the bench, I hope he gets minutes as well, because I want to see a fit Maddison. I'm not an injured Maddison. I want to see a fit Maddison, because I think he then changes this team for us as well, especially if we're getting this new signing. I think that changes it completely for me.
Yeah. I mean, Jimbo, looking at that, we haven't got Bergvall, we haven't got Maddison. Where's the creativity coming from today?
I don't know. If you want the truth, I was looking at it thinking that. I don't know, Kate. We have to see. Maybe no one. I can't see where it's coming from. If you want to know the truth.
Maybe Porro running down the wing.
Yeah, we've got a bit of tell as well, maybe. Look, the way I look at it, right, is he needs to try all these players in pre-season so he knows what he's got going into the season. So it's not a do or die game, is it? You know, if we lose against Newcastle, I can swallow that. Against Arsenal, I can't. So I'm glad he played the better players against them. But look, let's see. Look, I've been watching all their training sessions. Every training session they put on, first player I've been watching, and they all look like they're doing well and they're enjoying it. So let's see. Now we've got a completely different side out there. I mean, let's be fair. I'm not. Most of them are going to be the ones that start on the bench when the season starts. So let's see where they're up to, and see how this team gel together. Because in the training, if anyone's been watching it, they're training with a smile on their face, and they all look like they're doing well. So it's interesting to see how this lot do. But I'm not too hopeful, if you want to know the truth, if they play out a really strong team. But we'll see. I could be wrong. You know, they're decent players. Look, Kingsley, Porro, Enzo, Romero, Davis, Bentancur, Gray, Sarr. They're all decent players. You know, maybe a little bit of a question mark around Tell, because I think he needs to work with Frank. I think he's going to end up at the end of the season. I think we're going to be talking about Tell in a different light.
He put in an unbelievable cross against Arsenal, and I can't remember he didn't get on the end of it. But I mean, he did put in an unbelievable cross.
I just think he needs a bit of time, Tell.
Yeah.
I think he needs a bit of time. Yeah, he needs to work with Frank a bit, and I think that we're going to be talking about him in a different light at the end of the season. So, but look, I'm looking forward to it. You know me, Kate. I still think we'll win. You can put one player out there, I'd say we're going to win. So,
I thought against Arsenal, Pedro Porro was superb, putting in balls left, right, and centre, running down the wing, setting people up. So there could be some creativity coming from him. But as someone just said, do we, as a fan base, are we making too much of there's lack of creativity? Is this purely to get minutes in their legs for fitness? You know, I wonder if we're looking a bit too much into it. But Luke, just coming to you, obviously, it looks like this is Sonny's last game. I don't know if it's been 100% confirmed it is, but I'm assuming that it is. What's your thoughts on Sonny's 10 years of service? And how do you feel about him in a bracket of whether he's a legend? What are your feelings?
Well, I was discussing this yesterday on stream as well. 100% he's a legend. He has to go down as a legend for loyalty, for the goals, for the assists, for the partnerships, for the memories. There's so many different reasons why he goes down a legend. The top scorer goal, I'll never forget that when he finally nicked that goal, when it was literally a whole fan base was kind of urging him on to try and get that last one so that he could draw a level, and then the "Do you know who I am?" screaming into the camera was a brilliant moment as well. So Son for me is an absolute legend. I think it's perfect timing for him to go. It is sad, but it's one of them that it makes sense on all parties, I think. And what I don't want, and I think Spurs have been guilty a little bit of this, is that we keep our good players for a bit too long, and then the fans start getting on their backs a little bit. And I didn't want to see more people on Son's back next year if he didn't perform or if he had some injuries or whatever. He's not. So I think it's perfect time. He goes out a European champion. And I think it makes sense for everyone. And I'm glad Spurs have obviously seemed to have helped facilitate the move as well. We've kind of gave him the respect he deserves in terms of he said, I think we would have probably got more money from Saudi, and he's going, no, MLS is the way I want to go, and we're kind of helping him facilitate that move. So yeah, I think it works on all parties, but it was always going to be a sad day for Sonny to leave, regardless of when that came, it was always going to be a sad day in my eyes.
Yeah. For me, it's a no-brainer. This guy is an absolute legend for Spurs. Jose, what do you think of Sonny? Any special memories, or how do you feel about him going? You're muted, I think. Are you muted? Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I think you guys have hit the nail on the head with all the memories and all the tributes that I've heard from people. But the one thing I haven't heard people say, so if you're going to ask me for a memory, is Sonny is professional and Mr. Nice Guy, right? Always has been, always will be. Respectful, the whole works. I've heard everything, but for me, what stood out for me, if I'm going to talk a non-footballing one, what stood out for me was the parade. The parade where Sonny let his hair down. Sonny had a beer and then had a drink, and when he was talking, it wasn't the normal Sonny respectful that you get. He was swearing. He was up for it. He was like partying. He was the leader of the gang, so to speak. And that will always, and on a non-footballing side, because at the end of the day, these people, apart from being footballers that we adore and we admire and we'd love to see in wearing our shirts, above all, they're human beings as well. They're allowed to do normal human being things, believe it or not. And on that day, he did a normal thing. He went out and celebrated his way. And the words and how he spoke and stuff like that will always stick in my memory. What he did on the day of the parade. Footballing wise, speaks for itself. That you guys have already mentioned it. The goals, the assists, the one-man club thing, staying when he could have gone. And I think behind the scenes, there's probably bids that we haven't even heard about that people were sniffing and making. I mean, I'll go back about 4 or 5 years ago. I know that Klopp was it was his number one choice. He wanted Son at Liverpool, and they were talking about paying a 3-figure sum for him back 4 or 5 years ago. So, at the end of the day, I'm happy. I'm happy for Sonny. It'll be a sad day because for a generation now, we've grown up and we've been with Sonny for a generation. It's been a decade, so we've been with him for a generation, and it's going to be weird because next season, if he does leave, next season we won't be seeing Sonny wearing that number 7 shirt anymore, and we won't be singing these songs and singing these songs and singing his name. I think songs will still be sung about Song, because he's not going to be forgotten from our memory. The interesting thing is at the end of last season, after we'd won the trophy, after the parade, there was news coming out to say that Sonny, his last game would be at Newcastle because it was contracted that we were doing a tour to South Korea and that he would play this game and that he would move on after this game. About 10 days after that came out, news then came out that the aggregators are saying Sonny's now decided to stay. Now, I did a show on Friday and I said, Sunday will be telling. It'll be telling to see what happens after the game, whether Sonny does stay or does leave. And then, I don't know, in the evening yesterday, the news broke because he did it at the press conference that he was going to leave. So, yeah, Sonny is and will forever be a Tottenham legend. He will be up there with all the other legends that Tottenham have had in the past as well, for differing reasons. I mean, he didn't go and win at 6 championships, and he didn't have to do that. He did other things that made him a legend, and obviously to cap it all, what finer way to leave the club than lifting a trophy, the European trophy, a big trophy that goes into our cabinet. And then also as well, equally watching, I watched him lift the thing against Arsenal the other night or the other day, and Corey was pleased as punch to lift that one as well. So the man's a legend, isn't he? Lifting a trophy against Arsenal, the man's a legend. So yeah, there we go with the man.
Yeah, I agree, and I have to say, I don't think, certainly as long as I've been alive, I can think of a better, more world-class duo than Sonny and Kane together. They had this, they just knew where the other one was. It was like an instinct. Didn't matter where they ran, they just automatically knew where the other one was. And look, he's always conducted himself absolutely professionally, like a perfect role model. Just it's a massive loss to the Premier League. It's a massive loss to Spurs. But at the same time, I agree with Luke. I think it was the right time. We kept Lloris too long. I think this is the right time for Son. He's losing his pace. He's lifted the trophy and he goes with everyone's love. And I am going to get myself an LAFC T-shirt with Sonny on the completely shameless, and I don't care. But the question then, go on, Jim.
I was going to say, let's pick up on what Luke said, right? Because he's exactly right. Look what happened to Lloris. Was here up for 10 years, and look how he left. You know, he didn't get what we're talking about him like we're talking about Sonny, and he should have done, because he's been a fantastic keeper for us in the Poch era, right? Lloris was just unbelievable, and because they kept him that little bit too long, people started having a downer on him, and you know, and I think it's unfair. And that's why I don't think it is. It is sad he's going, but it's really important that people understand it is the right time for him to go. Because if he stayed another year or 2 years, people are going to start talking about him. You've seen it already in some of the chats. People saying, "Oh, he's lost it. He's not good enough anymore." And we shouldn't be talking about Sonny like that. He's an absolute, for me, right? He's on par with people like Ledley King. You know, as a legend of this club. I put him on the same bar as them. You know, he's when you think of Tottenham, you think of people like Ledley King, and now you're going to think about Sonny. So it's the right time for him to go, and I'm really, really happy for him that he's gone out lifting that trophy, and he's going to be loved in LA because just everybody loves Sonny. So he'll go out there and he'll become a legend there if he stays there 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, I agree, Jimbo. I will just show you this. Is the Newcastle lineup. They've got Pope in goal, Trippier, Shaw. It's quite nice. Trippier's back with Sonny there. Shaw, Joe Linton, Gordon, Barnes, Target, Burn, Bruno Guimaraes, and Miley. And they've got a keeper whose name Vlachodimos. If I've said that right, it's a miracle. Ruddy, right. Gillespie, Thompson. Did I say it right?
Yeah. Your Greek is superb. Your Greek is brilliant.
Lascelles, Tonali, Crafts, Osula, Langa, Livramento, Ashby, Murphy, Harrison, Hearns, Neve, Sinsu, Park. Wow, that was a mouthful. Luke, anyone
you've been
there
brushing up with your Korean as well? Look at that.
I've been trying, Jose. You know, I've got a job to do.
Do you know what,
Luke,
Jose?
anything there?
Hang on a minute, Kate. Kate, hang on a minute. Jose, you know what? She can actually say penis in Greek. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, I do know the naughty words.
Too much info.
I've got a friend that taught me all the naughty words. But Luke, what do you think of their lineup? Anyone there you're worried about? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think Bruno Guimaraes is top drawer. I think he's a great player. And it's a pipe dream, but I would absolutely love Gordon. I think Gordon would work so well in this Spurs system, especially with Porro being so good at the kind of cross-field ball. I think Gordon running in behind would almost be a little bit like an old-style Sonny. So them two are the two ones that stand out. Joe Linton as well, coming up against in the centre of midfield against Archie Gray, be interesting. Joe Linton's a physical specimen almost. He's absolutely huge. That'd be interesting to see how Archie Gray comes up against him, because that's been labelled at him a little bit sometimes, where he seems a bit, obviously he's young, but it might be that he's a little bit weak. So that'd be interesting. But yeah, I think them two are the sort of standouts. And then it's good to see Trippier. He's another one that probably was here for a season where he was just getting a little bit unfairly criticised, and if he'd have gone the season before, he might be held in a bit higher regard in regards to the Spurs fan base. So, but yeah, they're the two. They're the three of them.
Yeah. Jose, do you agree? I'm not even going to ask Jim because he'd go, no one worries me. So I'm going to ask Jose instead. Anyone there that worries you, Jose?
I'm not sure about worrying me, but the Newcastle have got to the last 2 seasons. They're an established team playing an established way of football. The setup is 4-3-3 all the time. I presume that they're going to play Dan Burns, Shaw at centre backs. They'll play Trippier on the right. They'll play Jacob Murphy on the left. Then their midfield three will probably be Guimaraes, Joe Linton, and Miley, and then they'll play it up front with Gordon, Barnes, and I'm missing a player. But yeah,
I think Murphy will play forward, and it'll be Target at left back.
Target. So sorry, I forgot Target's there. Yeah, Target will play. So yeah, it's a 4-3-3. It's a setup that we've seen from Newcastle under the Howe reign for the last 2 years. So there are some players that they've got on the bench that could have started. There's some players on the started could have been on the bench. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, I think I've not seen Newcastle at all pre-season, but I would have thought that they're doing similar to Tottenham. They're putting minutes into everybody's legs, and what will be will be. I mean, I couldn't even tell you their results, but I know that Newcastle have been away on a tour abroad for probably the same similar time as Arsenal have. Whether it's in Asia or they've been to America, I know they've been away. Funnily enough, we haven't flown as much so far this pre-season as what we have done in the last few pre-seasons. We tend to fly around the whole of Asia and have games postponed and then play against pub teams and stuff like that. And that's not happening this year. So, I'm hoping for a good game. Yeah, they lost 4-0 to Celtic, but didn't they then turn someone over, or it was a 3-2 game after that, after the Celtic game? So, yeah, our league is two weeks away to start, isn't it? So it's just getting these final minutes into people and the run into the start of the league now.
They lost 3-2 to Arsenal.
And they got beat by Celtic the game before that, didn't they? 4-0.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day...
Go on, sorry. Go on. I was thinking out loud. I've just noticed that Isak's not in the squad at all.
He's not there, Kate.
He only returned yesterday to Tyneside from his training. He's been training at Real Sociedad's ground in Spain on his own, with his own trainers, and now he's flown back to Tyneside yesterday. So he's not joined the tour. But all it tells me is if Liverpool hit the number, because apparently Newcastle have now gone in for Sesko. So if Newcastle hit if Liverpool hit the number that's required, then Isak will go to Liverpool, and that means Liverpool have bought the world.
Yeah, and do you know what? When you look at that Newcastle team without Isak, they're quite ordinary. I mean, I've got the odd player here and there, but I don't fear them. Go on, Jim.
I don't think they're ordinary, Kate. Put the team back up. They're a solid team. They're a real solid team.
Hang on.
I don't think. I think that's the wrong word, darling. I'm sorry. I'm going to disagree with you. Yeah, again. I don't think
you're
they're
allowed to disagree with me occasionally.
I don't think they're ordinary at all. I think they're a real solid unit.
I think where Kate's coming from is without Isak, they haven't got a focal point of 9, and they've got Callum Wilson joined West Ham yesterday as well. So at the moment, they haven't got a focal 9, so to speak, at the moment. But the rest of the team, Jim, you're right.
There is a massive. Isak, for me, he's one of the best strikers in the Premier League. As an all-round striker, I put him right up there. He's absolutely brilliant player. But look, you look at their team, that's a solid team, Kate. Look, Trippier, Shaw, Linton, Gordon, Barnes, Target, Murphy, Byrne, Bruno. That's a real solid unit. And they're going to be hard to beat by anybody in the Premiership, even without Isak. But they make it difficult for anyone. But I still think that we're on par with them. Not the team that's out now, but our overall squad, I don't think is behind them. I think that last season, a lot of our players didn't show how good they were for certain reasons. I'm not going to go into all that again. But I think some of our players are a lot. I'm talking 1 or 2 steps higher than what they shown last season. And I think we'll see that this season. So I think we're going to be an absolute solid outfit as well. But I think that's far from ordinary, that squad. Sorry, darling. I still hope I get my Sunday dinner.
They don't strike any fear into, I'm going to put it that way. They're very solid and they're established. But because they haven't got, like Jose says, that focal point, I don't think, when they've got Isak, every time they go forward, you think, oh my God, but they haven't got that now. And I think they've gone in for Sesko. Did you just say that, Jose? Sorry if I'm repeating.
They've gone in for Sesko. They've actually made a bid for Sesko. But
I think he's going to be a good player.
I don't know whether it's been accepted or not. I don't know whether it's been accepted, but they have put a bid in for Sesko.
I think he's going to be a really good player, but I just don't think he's ready for the Premier League just yet. So I think Newcastle might drop off a little bit this season. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, as Jimbo said, but
no, Kate, you're right.
Jimbo,
if you lose a player like Isak and you don't replace him, right, they are going to drop off without any doubt a bit.
Yeah, but they are going to replace him, but I don't think it's like for like, because it's hard to get someone of Isak's quality. Yeah.
Did Newcastle not sign a Langer?
Yeah.
Who signed
He's not in
Elanga?
Newcastle. Did he's not in the squad, is he? I don't think you mentioned Elanga's name.
No, he's in. He's on the bench.
Oh, he's on the bench. Okay, sorry, I didn't hear his name
Yeah.
mentioned. I was going to say, I just thought that it's the only player they've signed this season is Elanga.
Yeah. He's on the bench.
And did you hear
but
Van
you're right.
der Ven's interview?
No,
Van der Ven was
go on.
asked. Van der Ven was asked. You're one of the fastest players we've ever seen in the Premiership and stuff like that. And they said to him, "Who did you find is the quickest player in the Premiership? Who can keep up with you? Who's really quick?" And he said, "That's a really tough one to answer." He goes, "But what I will say is Anthony Elanga from Forest." He said he's quick.
Wow.
So,
I bet he's still not as quick. But back to our team, Jimbo. Obviously, Sonny going. Is it going to be a case of Romero automatically up and captains the team now, or do you think there could be another captain in the mix?
I said it all along, Kate. I think Romero will be captain, and I think Romero will sign a new contract as well this season. I think that I think that he's going to. Him and Frank are going to get on really, really well, and I think that he's going to relish being captain. And I just think that Tottenham will go out there in the window, every window, and upgrade on what we got. I think they will. I think this is the time they need to do it. I did tell you when we had the stadium built, it's going to take a few years. I didn't expect it to take 6 or 7 years, but before they start spending money on players. But I think that they will upgrade every window now. I think this is the beginning of Spurs moving upwards. I believe that, and I think that he's going to know that. They're going to talk to him about it, and I think they'll end up staying.
Interesting. Luke, do you agree? As in, do you think Romero will stay, and do you think he is going to be the captain?
Yeah, I think he does stay. I think as Spurs we need him to sign the new contract. Personally, I think that's crucial because next year means he's got 1 year left. I was a little bit hesitant at the start of the window, but I'm just not sure people have stumped up the money that would be required to get him out anyway, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think he's probably the natural choice. I think some of the stuff that's gone on in the background he's been ill-advised, shall we say, in some of the stuff and the way that he's acted, to be honest with you, which you don't want to be seeing from a captain. But I think he is the natural one. And as I say, if he commits to a longer contract, we shall see. But I do think that's one of the problems Spurs have had. I think that the type of leaders and the captains that you require, I don't think we've brought that sort of personality. We've not looked at that as a squad and brought in the players that need to be at that level in terms of that sort of style. So, but yeah, I think he'll end up being the captain, signing the contract. I'm hopeful, but I'm not as positive, unfortunately.
Kate, can I just say what Luke just said there about some of the stuff in the background? That doesn't dishearten me at all, because it just shows me he's not a yes man and he says what he thinks. You know, I think that's a good thing, especially in a captain. He won't kiss their ass. If he's got something to say, he says it, and I think that's how people should be. You know.
No, I agree. I just think the conversation. Obviously, he seemed to be quite annoyed that Ange got the sack. And listen, each to their own. That's absolutely everyone's personal, individual choice. That's fine. However, to release the statement the minute that Frank's arrived, it was almost like it's shown a lot on Frank's side that he's not just gone, "Oh, okay." Do you know what I mean? Like so I just think, again, I'm not saying it's a huge thing, but it's definitely something that I think he needs to learn from, and it needs to be an understanding that you can't operate like that. You can do bits and pieces, and you're completely right. We always want players to show more character. We always want to know what they actually feel, so we can't throw them down at every opportunity. However, it was literally the moment that Frank was announced, and it was like you probably had 2 or 3 weeks to do this, and you do it as soon as he's announced. It just didn't. It was really poorly timed, to be honest with you. But I completely get it. I do agree. I think we need to see more characters and understand what players are thinking more.
Was it poorly timed, or was it rightly timed? Because when he done it, me and Kate were sitting here, and Kate went, "Oh my God!" and I said to her, "I didn't think there was nothing wrong with it." I didn't. He wanted to get his point across, Kate, and he got his point across. Look, he's carried on. He's professional, right? You can see he's happy. But I don't think there's nothing wrong with him letting people know that he thought that decision was wrong, because there's hundreds of thousands of people that thought that decision was wrong, right? And he's come out and said it. Doesn't mean he's not going to be friends with Frank or behind Frank. He just let his point know. I was surprised that everyone blew up about it.
As Drula says, she admires the fact that he was open and honest about it. And, you know, we defended him, Jimbo. I remember defending him for his timing on this channel, I think it was. I can't remember what channel. I think it might have been this one. But look, it's like him or hate him, Romero is a winner. He says what he wants, and that's what he did. But, Jose, I'm of the opinion if Romero signs a new contract, he will be captain. However, if he doesn't, what's your thoughts on the captaincy?
I think for me, before you let me in, I was going to say the words that you just said. Romero is a winner. Look at his CV. The chap is a winner, serial winner at that. He's won the biggest prizes on the planet. He is a winner. He just wants to win, and he wants to win at all costs. Now, for me, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and we can all speculate because that's what we do as fans. We speculate in that. I think that Romero is going to be captain, regardless whether he signs a contract now or at the end of the season. He will be captain this season. There is no way that Atletico Madrid is, again, it's the IT case, people throwing their weight around to try and get traction. I was out in Spain. Real Madrid have gone down. Atletico Madrid have gone down a different route. Atletico Madrid have bought about 6 players in already, and they've bought players in with a younger profile and different positions. So they bought players to play in different positions. They're not after Cuti Romero, and a bit like Luke said, possibly there wasn't teams that had the kind of money that prizes someone like Romero away. And I've grown up I've supported Tottenham for many, many years, and I can name the amount of players that we have sold because we were a selling club. We have sold really good players, and we've not kept our good players. Soddy may be different. With Sonny, we kept him. But with other players, we've let them go and we've sold them. And I don't think it was the right move to sell Romero. For me, Romero always had to stay at Tottenham this season and possibly next season as well. So Romero's got to stay. Romero, for me, is the glue in that team. I think he's admired and he's looked, and players look up to him, not only for his achievements on the pitch and for being a serial winner, but also for the way that he does stick up for his values. All Romero wants, right? And this is why I won't knock him. A lot of stuff gets lost in translation because a lot of the stuff that Romero says is in Argentine in Spanish, and then by the time you translate in English, it sounds like it's been out of order. All Romero wants, honestly, for Tottenham, all he wants is to win. He wants Tottenham to win things. Romero was so proud last season when we won the Europa League. Romero was over the moon. Romero enjoyed that as much as he did winning the World Cup, as much as he has done winning the Copa America. He wanted to win things. He wants Tottenham to win things. And in order to win things, Romero is not naive. He knows that you've got to invest in better players to have a more competitive side to be chasing all these trophies. So for me, there is absolutely nothing wrong. It's just lost in translation. There's nothing wrong with Romero done. He's the right choice to be captain. I think behind the scenes, as I said, we all speculate. I think behind the scenes, they've known, or Tottenham knew that Sonny was going. I think that conversation happened there or thereabouts, either before the final or after the final, and therefore, when Frank came in, he had to make a decision quite quickly, and his decision very quickly was Romero's going to be my guy. Now, at the end of the day, we lose one captain and we gain another, in my eyes. So we lose a captain inside and we gain another. But for me, Romero stays. Whether he signs the contract now at the end of the season, it's neither here and there. We just need stability. We need that captain in there, and we just need to hit the ground running at the start of the season.
You know the other thing, Kate.
Yeah, I think it's spot on there.
The other thing as well, I mean, people were saying he was very inconsistent last season. But tell me one player that was consistent last season.
Yeah.
There were none of them.
Do you know what? when he needed to step up in that final week, though, boy, did he step up. I thought he gave a proper captain's performance in the final in Bilbao, and that's what you need sometimes, someone to take it by the scruff of the neck. But, yeah, look, I think he's going to be the captain, and I think Maddison should stay as a vice-captain as well. I think Madders has got it in him to be a captain. I expect to see a better Madders this year, but we'll see. For those just joining, this is the team: Kinski, Porro, Danso, Romero, Davis, Bentancur, Gray, Sarr, Johnson, Telt, and Sonny as captain for the final time. And then on the bench, we've got Vicario, Austin, Gunter, Spence, Van der Ven, Byfield, Vuskovic, Abbott, Basuma, Bergvall, Maddison, Donnelly, Yang, Odebert, Kudus, Richarlison, and Lancashire on the bench. But it is, I've just found out that watch along is with Ben and Amir, because Sim is still in Korea now, bless him, having the time of his life. If you've been watching any of the We Are Tottenham TV coverage, Sim yesterday was talking to the Korean fans about Sonny, and some of the coverage has been brilliant, giving Robbie from AFTV some stick about us beating the Gooners. So make sure you have a look and watch those videos. It's come to that time now, with 10 minutes to go, where we need to know in the chat what you think the score will be and who will be the scorer or rers in today's match. Luke, as you're making your debut today, I'm going to come to you first and ask you what you think the score will be today, and who do you think scoring for Spurs, if anyone?
I'm going to go 2-1. I think it'll be a tight game. It looks like neither team has got their strongest 11 out, shall we say. I'm going to go 2-1. I've got a back Tell because I've been backing Tell since we got him on loan. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to sit here and name every single thing I see in him. I just feel like he's going to explode under Frank. Give him another year. He's had 6 months kind of settling in, and I think from the start of the season, I think we'll see a better player. So I think he'll grab one, and then I think that we may get a goal from like a centre back, Danzo, something like that. We look quite strong on set pieces, so I'll go with a centre half to score. So a bit of a different scorer.
Someone's put it's Kudus's birthday today. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, then happy birthday to him. We've got Karuna saying 3-0 Spurs, goals to Sarr, Son and Madders. 2-0 Sarr and Johnson. Sonny's got to score today. 2-1 Tottenham, Son and Sarr again. 2-1 Sonny will recreate the Burnley goal. 2-2 Sonny Brace. 1-0 Spurs. We've also got 1-0 Spurs from Brian Lamar. We've got 3-1 Sonny Brace. Wouldn't we all love to see that? And we've got Steve Dyer saying Son, Sarr and Johnson again. Ole, ole. George Alton says 2-1 Sonny Brace. It was Kudus's birthday yesterday. Okay. Jose, what do you fancy the score today and the scorers?
Before I answer it, because I've been away from the scene, can I just ask you guys a question first before I give it? Luke, Arsenal game, what was your prediction for the score? Honestly, what did you think the score would be? What did you say before the game?
I think I said 2-1 to Arsenal.
Okay, Jim would have gone Tottenham win. I know that.
3-1.
He did.
What did you say, Kate?
On our channel, I said 3-1 to Arsenal. On this channel, I said 3-1 to Spurs.
Okay, all right.
Because I didn't want to pump people down.
I'm trying to get a flavour because you guys have obviously watched the pre-season. I've not seen because I've been away. So I'm trying to get a flavour of what it was like and then what we got. So today I'm going to go for a bit like Luke said. You've got two teams that have changed their side completely, but it's Sonny's last game today. Sonny's last game, and I think that the team are going to do absolutely everything they can to feed Sonny, to get Sonny a parting goal, a definite parting goal, and if not, win a penalty because Sonny will take it. I just think that today the stars are aligned. We won that trophy with Sonny. Sonny's last game, I think the stars are aligned, and I think Tottenham go out with a bang and will win today. And it's the scoreline. I'm going to go, it could either be 2 or 3-0 to Tottenham today.
Good, okay.
Sonny to get at least one, but probably a brace. And as for me, I'm not too fussed about goal scorers. As long as we score goals, I don't really care who the goal scorers are. But I'd like to see Sonny score. So I'm going to go 2-0 stroke 3-0 today, and Sonny to go out with the biggest bang.
Oh, let's hope so. Patricia says 2-1 to Spurs. Brennan taps in and Sonny scores. 2-0 Sonny and Sarr. Ole, ole. And Wibbers says 2-0 Son and Porro. I'm going to go 2-1. And I'm going to go Sarr to score again. 3 games in a row. I'm going for the Sarr man. And I've got to go for Sonny. It'd be outrageous to not go for Sonny to score on his last game. Please let him score a worldie. So that's my prediction is 2-1 to the mighty Spurs. Jimbo, what are you fancying?
Well, first of all, I've got to say that I might be calling a doctor when we finish the stream because you predicted us to win 2 games on a row. I mean, that's just unheard of.
It's not age anymore, Jim. It's Frank.
There was a couple
new
of
me, new positive Kate.
There was a couple of people in the chat that corrected me and said that last year Porro and Johnson were consistent. They were probably the 2 most consistent in the team. So I stand corrected on that one. And as for today, 3-0. Yeah, Bergvall, but he was still a little bit in and out. I mean, look, let's talk about this. I let them know that I acknowledge what they said. 3-0 today. We're going to smash them. Sonny, without any doubt, is going to score. Johnson will score, and I'm going to have to go Sarr again because he's on a roll. So, but 3-0, the European champions, we're going to smash them to pieces.
If you want to people in the chat, the people in the chat, right? There's over 600, nearly 700 in the chat. If you want Sonny to score, show us your appreciation of you want Sonny to score by hitting that like button. I want to see that like button move in appreciation that you guys want Sonny to score today. Show me that you want Sonny to score. It's all right to put it in the chat. Son. Hit the like button because the like button stays with us forever. Go on. Show me what Sonny's going to score today.
Like our memories of Son. Drula says she's starting to feel emotional already. Come on, Sonny. 3-1. Brace for Sonny and Sarr to get 1. Sonny hat-trick 3-1. Let's say hello to our legend song, but speed up the transfer market. Yes, let's do that. Our injuries were also inconsistent last season. That is very true. Spurs won't concede many under Frankie, as us looking solid. I kind of agree with that. Shem says 0-0, we can't score and they have no striker. Jimbo, lift that trophy, show off the tat. We need good vibes, Jimbo. I love Jimbo's enthusiasm. Listen, let me tell you, it's great, but when you live with it 24/7, it can be a little bit draining at times. If I say one negative thing, I get my head bitten off. But look, let's just hope for a really good game, really good performance, and if there's any justice in the world, Sonny will score. And we've just had another 30-odd likes, so Jose, your riling speech worked.
It went up by 40. Luke, it's gone up by 40.
There are 40 likes.
Well
excellent. Luke, brilliant to have you on, Luke. Brilliant, Davey, on the channel. What's happening over at Spotlight on Spurs for those that haven't subscribed yet?
Yeah, thanks for having me on this. Jim, your enthusiasm is brilliant. Honestly, I'm going into this more and more. I'm now thinking 3, maybe even 4-1. Sonny gets 3. It's brilliant. I love it. I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to just text before every game. I want to have a couple of texts with you just to kind of give me that boost. It's excellent. I'm hoping everyone in the chat is completely agreeing with that. Yes, I'm a relatively new channel to YouTube. I've only joined in midway through last year, so at the moment we go live every Thursday 9:30 p.m. Talking obviously all things Spurs. Currently releasing a new series as well where I sit down. I didn't realize how many YouTubers were in the space, but I'm sitting down with different YouTubers from Spurs, just going over like a season preview, essentially discussing last season a little bit, like transfers and things like that. So them videos will be coming out as well. But yeah, 9:30 every Thursday. And thanks again.
Make sure you go over and subscribe to Luke because his shows are brilliant. We watch you on a Thursday and excellent shows. So yeah, make sure everyone goes over and subscribes to Luke as well. I suppose I'm sure he'll be back on the channel soon enough for another pump up. Jose, obviously you've only just come back, but what's happening over at LTL Cockerell?
I did a show on Friday because I'd only just got back, and I can't believe all the blowout that, you know, the Tottenham fan base going absolutely mad because people weren't signing and people weren't doing this and people weren't doing that. And I just thought to myself, well, the evidence has been there for the last 2 decades. It's the same Tottenham lads and lasses. You know, it's our club.
Exactly.
So I'll be back. I'll be putting stuff out this week as well. I'll be doing some shows this week, and I've now decided that my prediction show that I do for the season will be members only, because for the last 2 years it's become so much work, having so many different people coming in and out and doing it, that I'm going to restrict it to members only. So that will probably start 2 weeks Friday as well. So that'll be exclusive to members. But yeah, I can be found. I'm always found. I'm always found somewhere. But yeah, I'm always found. I always appear with people. So yeah, and I'm glad to be back, and I'm looking forward to watching my first game today, because I've not watched any
Enjoy.
Tottenham at all. So I'm looking forward to it. I will ask the question I bet backstage. I want to know where it's on, because I haven't got a clue showing it. So
Spurs Plays is showing it for sure. I don't know about anyone else, but I know we've been watching it on Spurs Play.
I mean, look, if you're a massive Spurs fan, right? I think Spurs play such good value. £45 a season, and you get so much on there. It's not, you don't just get to watch.
You do get a lot.
I mean, you get so much on. You get interviews that they don't show anywhere else with the players, with the manager. Interviews the manager does with other people. You get all their training. I think it's an absolute bargain at 45 quid. And if you're a member or a season ticket holder, it's only 35 quid. I think it's a bargain. I really do.
I promise now, Jim is not on commission, but he does like to give his speech. But we do enjoy our Spurs Play, to be fair.
You can sit there all day, right? Some days, and go through content that's not been on there, you know. And you can have like a good couple of hours, 2-3 hours of all new stuff. I just think it's a bargain. You can go back and watch the parade again. There's so much on there. I just love it.
Yeah. And over at Kate and Jimbo, we are back tomorrow at 12:30 for a special show where we're paying tribute to Sonny and all the wonderful things and wonderful memories he's brought to us. But you can find us most weekdays at 12:30 lunchtime. We are going to start an evening show, obviously with the new season coming up. And obviously we'll always be here. What, trying to clash with Luke? You can't clash with Luke.
You'll always be clashing with someone.
So please do. Yeah, there's not enough hours in the day. But please do come over, subscribe to Kate and Jimbo, subscribe to Luke at Spotlight on Spurs, subscribe to LTL Cockerell as well, to Jose. Don't go anywhere, because you are automatically redirected to the watch along with Ben and Amir, which starts in about 10 minutes time. Enjoy the game, everyone. Thanks so much for the likes, everyone, for watching. And I'm going to let you end the show, because you always end it the best.
We're going to smash them, right? And you're going to see a new Spurs this season under Frank. We're going to be a revelation, right? You're going to be so surprised. We're going to win a trophy 100%. Clip this. Jimbo said it. Trophy incoming this year, and we're going to push right up that table. Last year, 17th. That was an anomaly. We are going up. Come on, you fucking Spurs.